Hi, welcome back to our channel. We are Chase and Melia, and we are voice teachers. And today we are reacting to the highly requested Mamamoo's Killing Voice.
We're excited to react to Mamamoo. We believe they are a K-pop group, all female. Please let us know in the comments if we're wrong
If they're
about
not
that
K-pop,
genre.
yeah,
We don't know.
People told us BTS was not
K-pop? Huh? But we're just dumb Americans, okay?
Korean pop, right? Isn't that
I
what
don't
K-pop
know.
means?
I think it's a genre thing. It's a lifestyle thing. I think
it's just more of a mindset
it's a mindset.
thing.
It's a way of life. Regardless, we are reacting to Mamamoo. We're super excited, and I'm all about the ladies' voices. So let's get started.
둘, 셋, 아싸, 마마무. 안녕하세요, 마마무입니다. 네, 여러분 저희가 킬링 보이스로 돌아왔습니다.
네, 그리고 저희가 1년 만에 완전체로 컴백을 했는데 많은 관심 가져주셨으면 좋겠습니다.
네, 새 앨범 트랩을 많이 사랑해 주세요. 그럼 가볼까요?
네.
Drop the beat. 실례지만 내게 뭐가 묻은 거니 네 눈빛에 내가 헷갈리잖니 마마무 거기 Mr. MMO 쳐다만 보지 말고 좀 더 다가와봐
딩고 너 나한테 관심 있지?
아직 넌 왜 눈치를 못 채니 Mr. MMO 날 갖고 놀려 하지마
Hey Mister
꼭꼭 숨어 머리카락 보일라
Come on Let's go 무스타 어서 말해봐 Mr. MMO 왜 삐딱하게 구는 거래 마치 베레모 사랑가 보지 말고 빨리 와요 내게로 사랑을 쟁취하는 거야 불러봐요
마마무 거긴 Mr. MMO
아마도 나 말고 딴 여자 있는 것 같다고
Now 신사승 여러분 Let's get on with the show
Wow.
I'm not going to go back because this is a 15-minute video. We're going to keep going. I'm excited to hear more. But I do think that this is a very interesting, group. It's just so interesting to do, sing groups. They're not playing instruments. They have a backing track. And it's a very different style of music, I think, than we're used to on the Western side. And I'm into it.
Yeah. This is
because
awesome.
it's like they get to just have fun and they get to just sing. And, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's really cool, especially that intro where they kind of split off. That was sweet. What do you think of the voices? Should we break into that right now?
I think I need to hear more to
Okay.
break it. Obviously,
All right.
you hear, I mean, if I was just going to give you my initial reaction.
Yeah.
Obviously, the lovely lady on the left is their rapper. And she has a much deeper voice anyway. It seems like her speaking voice is even deeper.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear her sing. I'm hoping she's going to sing. It seems like the second lady from the left is the lead singer, is the lead vocalist, and her voice. No, you don't know.
I don't know if we should make lead
No, I want to see if I'm right.
Okay, all right.
It's just
You're calling it.
I'm calling it.
Calling it.
Just also the way that she's kind of presenting the group. It feels like
Maybe.
she has, I think, the clearest voice of what I hear so far, as far as resonance and stuff. I feel like the next lady in the wonderful blazer, she her voice is kind of like Jimin's. It reminds me of Jimin from BTS,
Yeah.
where it has that kind of robotic quality. There might be a little bit of nasality and almost maybe she's changing her mouth a little bit to kind of give it an
I thought
effect.
hers was a little clearer.
Well, that's why I'm excited to hear more.
Yeah.
And then the person on the end, I feel like she has the roundest voice.
Deep,
It's kind of a deep, roundest. He feels very mature, her voice. Sure. But that's just from the beginning. I'm hoping to hear more.
We didn't say this, but we have never
Not
heard,
once.
not even once, Mamamoo.
No,
So,
not even once.
It's this is a blind reaction. We don't know what we're talking about in terms of their band and things like that.
Exactly.
We're just here trying to
listen.
make sense of the voices and to pick apart, different things that we can take away and hopefully apply to our singing. Maybe you can apply it to your
You're
singing.
singing. Absolutely. So. It looks like this is 4 different songs. Egoistic, HIP. Yeah, cool. We'll find out.
Awesome.
Okay.
노라해 you we so let's go.
너의 손이 주에 남들지 그렇다고 네가 태양은 아니니 너의 멋대로 중심이 돼제 멋대로 굴면 안돼
어떻게 한순간에 떨림이 소리 없이 너의 두 눈을 가리네.
너의 뜻대로 흘러가네 내게 상처를 주면 안돼
Whoa.
Whoa. Okay.
Whoa.
Now we've heard individual voices right after. Okay.
Yeah.
First thoughts.
I stand by the one in the blazer sounding like Jimin and almost sounding like she is giving herself a vocal effect in the way she's singing.
It's very meow, meow,
Yeah.
meow, 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 meow.
I would say it's very efficient for this sound
Yeah.
or for this like genre.
I like it more than Jimin's though.
Who?
So
Get
Jimin's
ready.
I appreciate. I think it fits so well, and I
Mm-hmm.
think he's such a talented singer. It's not quite my favorite, right? Everybody knows I
Right,
love
we're
Jungkook.
talking- yeah.
Not to say not better or
Whatever,
That's
yeah.
not part of the conversation. But I really like her voice. I think from
You
this
prefer it the
from
most?
listening to it for 2 seconds,
Yeah.
I prefer the Lady in the Blazers voice
I
the
would
most
say,
at this point.
I would say her voice is the most interesting for sure.
Yeah.
I think that resonance wise and maybe even like efficiency, I don't know, that's hard to say. I think that the person, we gotta learn names. We'll learn names. They
We'll
should
learn
just have
names.
their
They should
names.
just,
Anyway,
you know.
the lady that is second to the left, her voice
In the
is
sleeveless,
yeah.
yeah.
Her voice is the most kind of like classical. It's
Sure.
kind of- and not classical music, but it's like a classic singing
nice
voice.
sounding
It's a
voice,
nice
yeah.
sounding voice. Yeah, it's just interesting.
It's interesting.
I'm really excited.
So the lady in the all the way to the right in the white in all white, she sounds like Rihanna. Like she sounds
does
like
have, yes.
if Rihanna was singing in Korean. I mean, you know, I hope that's a compliment. I mean, I think it's
No,
she
I
sounds
mean-
really it's such a
But it's also a unique.
it's a pop sound. You know what I mean? It's a pop na 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 na.
Yeah.
It's really forward. It's very percussive, like ba 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 da.
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
I just think it's forward in your face, percussive
Yeah.
kind of sound.
That's a good point. I would like to hear more.
생각만 하지 그래 뭐 그게 참 당연한 듯이 어리석게 너에게만 맞춰왔던 게 날 괴롭히네 마지막까지 외롭게 할 말이 없어 go away 설명이 더 필요해 화를 내도 내 맘 아프다니까 너 멋대로만 해 브라 난 언제나 너 해 넌 언제나 나 해 디아야 네 멋대로 중심이 돼넌 너만 생각해 그럴 거면 넌 나 해 디아야 네 멋대로 굴면 안 돼 멋대로만 해 에이. 클랩
Wow. So, you know, something this might be, if you've watched any of our videos, we talk a lot about resonance and what a lot of people confuse as singing nasally as being a bad thing versus, you know, when you hear a really resonant singer, you think, oh, that's so good, and it's not nasal, when it is. You know, you can't have one without the other. And this is something I think they're all doing very well. Na 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 na.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
very da da. It's very forward. It's easier to sing that way, honestly. And it sticks out in the mix. They've got all this music going on,
Yeah.
but their voices are so easily heard, not just because of, you know, people mixing
Right.
mixing things, but also how they're singing is really giving a lot of that forward, you know, we might call it ping.
Yeah.
It's you know, if you took it by itself and you just listened to it by itself, it might not sound so great. But when
Right.
you really add it to the mix,
Yep.
when you add it to all of them singing together, it's how it's supposed to sound. It's
Yep.
how it's supposed to be.
Awesome. Yeah, I still feel like I need to hear more. They move from one to the other so quickly
That's true.
that it's hard, and then I'm also like overwhelmed because I'm like, oh my gosh, that was so cool, or oh
Yeah.
my gosh, that was so cool. But I want to keep listening.
Okay.
너가 낯선 너의 등장이 평소답지 않은 눈빛이 뭔가 느낌이 좀 수상해 지금은 12시 10분 넉넉 지난 여름부터 밤낮 사춘기 소녀처럼 꿈꾸게 만들었어 romance 오늘만 기다렸어 oh yes 핸드폰은 없 치명적인 호 비밀스러운 party Got up at the cafe 내 공간에 와줘 널 환영해 No 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 두 손을 머리 위로 clap your hand 너와 나 입을 맞춰 I'll feel good 너에게 나를 맡겨 이건 좀 위험해 선을 넘을 것만 같아 너와 나 같이 그린 I feel good 오렌지 빛깔 그림 I feel good 서로가 만들어낸 서로가 달콤한 이 같아 I feel good
Sorry. Whoa, there's so much happening.
There's a lot going on in that one.
First of all, the music, like the meter changed.
Oh yeah, and the
key change. There was
and then
so
how
much
they
happening.
slid that super dissonant chord.
Yeah.
Oh, that was awesome.
That was really cool. Man, vocally, I don't know what to say. I feel like, and this might get me a lot of trouble. I feel like there's a vocal effect on their mic.
All of them.
I mostly feel like the lady on the end, in the white shirt.
think so.
It feels like there's a little bit of a vocal effect, and that's not to say a bad thing, but to me, it's hard to hear the quality of her voice because it doesn't feel like that's really the quality of her voice, like the timbre of her voice. But that's also, we talk about this stylistically with BTS all the time and all other pop singers. Like, you add vocal effects to match the style of music, so it's not a bad thing. It's just hard for me to hear what their voices sound like if there is an effect. And I still kind of hold to what my original thing was. I feel like the timbre of her voice, the one on the end, is a little bit darker and kind of huskier. The girl in the blazer has a very, I always use the word piercing, which sounds bad, but it's not. It's very like ping, forward, super clear sound.
Yeah.
Her voice sounds higher, even though she's singing the same
Yeah,
melodies.
her voice sounds high.
It sounds super high, but I don't think she's singing much higher than everybody else. She had a few little like maybe whistle moments or like higher moments, but I'm not even talking about that. And then the girl with the long black dress, the sleeveless black dress, she just has a really like, I mean, simple is not like, it doesn't, not to say not beautiful. It's not to say not good. She's a very simple voice. It seems very like classic
Sure.
female voice.
I was actually really impressed when she got up into that higher range.
Yeah.
She like all of a sudden had, I think, a lot more clarity. She had more like support, I think, lower down and really It was really good. As far as the vocal effect, I think that I heard I thought for a moment the same thing, but I'm actually not sure.
Not sure, yeah.
Because I think that a lot of times, especially when you're singing so clearly and kind of, we're going to use the word nasally. It doesn't mean it's not a bad thing. When you sing so nasally, it can kind of push a lot of, it could be compression, compression, at least to make things so that the mic can take it and everything still sounds good and doesn't blow out things and it fits in the mix, can give a little bit of an effect.
That makes sense.
But I don't think that it's on her voice. I think
Okay.
it could be just on the recording, just
kinda like
compression,
this
and that doesn't
stuff.
actually change it changes the sound,
But it's not a
especially
vocal-
when it's really loud and she really gets after it. But I don't. Am I boring you?
Yes.
My gosh. But I don't think that it's like a real effect that they put on it to make it sound different.
Yeah.
I'm actually really interested. She seems like kind of beltier, a little bit more of that full voice. It is interesting.
Yeah. And then that last like chord, that was really cool to hear them. That's really hard to tune. Yeah, it's hard to tune stuff like that, and they were very much in tune.
The speed at which they just boom locked in, just you can tell that they are tight.
You do that obviously with practice, but you also do that with the correct vowels.
You can't
They're
tune.
blending
We
with
actually
their
made a video about how to blend and how to harmonize voices, and you can't tune a harmony or even singing unison, singing the same note.
Yeah.
unless you're singing the same vowel.
Yep.
And that's a big thing for choir. It's a big thing for singing with other people.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I was really surprised at the speed in which they locked that in, and then how they moved it together. It was just like, that was super impressive.
Really cool. Yeah.
Super impressive.
Okay, we're splitting it. We're calling it.
We have to call it. This is going to be a 77-minute video if we don't split this up.
And you're brand new to our channel, and we don't want you to just be like, oh my gosh, they make 7-hour videos.
Yeah. Also, our son is starting to get restless and needs to go outside.
He needs to go for a walk. So we're gonna go for a walk.
We're gonna break this up. So keep an eye out for part 2. This is amazing. This is great. I'm so glad to have found that there's so much to take away from all this.
Absolutely. I'm excited to continue listening. We hope that this video was helpful and insightful and that you learned something.
Yeah.
And we learned something.
Yeah.
Which is that we obviously love K-pop. So
yes.
And
stop
singing.
Fighting it. Not that I ever fought it, but
true.
I know. I didn't know how much I enjoyed this.
So we hope that you guys liked this video, and if you did, please give it a like, and if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you can be notified when we post our next video, which will be part 2. You don't want to miss it. Thank you guys so much for watching. We are Chase and Melia, and we will see you next time.